Hey guys, and welcome to this week's episode of The Fad Show. This week I'm going to be going over a detailed detail video where I detail my 987 Porsche Cayman. I've had the car for about 2 years now and I'm getting ready to sell it, so I just want to do a good like 100% once over of it. Wash, clay bar, paint enhancement, wax, and then do the interior. I also think I might try and take the rock guards off because they're all discolored. And I bought some new center caps, and I'll clean the interior, the wheels, and just everything, so I can get ready and take some pictures of it for the forthcoming sale. I'm not a professional detailer by any means, but I do think that I get pretty good results, so hopefully you guys find some value in this video. Should just be a bunch of time lapse, but hope you like it. So it's a few days later, but I ended up, due to the fact that it's been so cold here recently, I wasn't able to hand wash my car. As you saw, I went through the machine wash, which I wouldn't normally do, but it's been really cold, so did what I had to, I guess. And then I vacuumed the car out. Now the car's back in the garage. Today I'm going to attempt to clay bar and hopefully do a paint correction depending on how much time I have. But I'm going to start with trying to remove the rock guards from the rear fender. They're all discolored. Probably should have done this a long time ago since I've had the car, but I just left them on there like that and they look like crap because they're all discolored. So for that, I'm just going to use a steam cleaner to heat up the adhesive, and then hopefully I'll be able to peel those off and then use alcohol to remove the adhesive, whatever's left over. So, all right, we'll get into it and I'll show you guys step by step what I'm going to be doing today. Like I said, non-professional detailing. I do my best and I'm pretty happy with the results. So I'll show you guys how I do it. All right, so now I'm just going to heat up this rock guard here with the steamer and try and get the adhesive. I don't know what the word is, but loose, I guess, and then I'm trying to peel it off. If you have like a plastic like prior or something, like I thought I had like a cell phone repair kit that had like a little piece of plastic I was going to use to get this, but I can't find it, so I'm just going to try and be very careful and do it by hand once I get it warmed up. But it looks like it's already starting to come, so shouldn't be too bad. So I found this plastic cell phone repair pry bar, and I'm just using these to try and peel this thing back. It's a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be, so this might take a while, but I think it will look a lot better once it's done. So I got it off, but I wouldn't say that the way I did it was probably the best way to go about it. The video I watched of someone doing this was literally just heat it up and peeled right off. For me, plastic scraper didn't work, the steam didn't work. I had to get a hair dryer and get it real hot, and then just like be so careful with my little razor and scrape it off. There's enough adhesive left that it's kind of hard to scrape the paint with the razor, but probably not the best way to do it, but I got it off. It took forever. It was probably like 2 hours to get this off. So now I'm gonna try and get the adhesive off. Just for that, I'm just gonna use isopropyl alcohol microfiber rag and see what happens. This is not done how I was planned, or how I thought it would. So I'm not gonna lie, I failed pretty hard on that, trying to remove the rock guard. There's just way too much adhesive left, and I can't get it off with the alcohol, and the peeling it off with steam didn't work. The videos I watched of people doing that on YouTube were like, it came off like butter, so I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do. I ordered a 3M eraser wheel and some Goo Gone. So that should be in a couple of days, and I'll try that. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna move on to something that I know how to do, which is clay bar in the car. So for that, all you need is your clay and some detailer spray. Some people, I think, just use water, but I've always used the detailing spray. And to start, you're just gonna wanna knead your clay to kind of get it warmed up. And then I'll show you what you do on the car, but it's a pretty easy process, just time consuming. So I'm pretty much gonna do the whole car except for those 2 rock hard areas, and then I'll come back and do those afterwards once I figure out exactly what I'm gonna do there. Hopefully that 3M eraser wheel will work. Okay, so for this, you're just gonna spray the area on the clay, and then run the clay over. And then you just want to keep folding this over so you aren't putting like the dirty side down. And then if it gets too dirty, you can get a new piece of clay. And then you're gonna have a little bit of clay residue on the car after you're done. So I just use water and a microfiber rag to wipe that up when I'm done. Alright, so now that I've finished clay barring the car, I'm just going to go around with a microfiber rag and just a bottle of water to get all the clay residue off. I'm not sure if I explained before, but the purpose of the clay bar, it removes all the surface impurities from the paint, which just gives you a little bit deeper clean. And also, if you're going to polish the car like I am, it removes all that like dirt and grit that's embedded in the clear coat, so it doesn't scuff your paint when you go to polish it. So so it's a week later. I ordered this 3M eraser wheel from Amazon. I've seen people use this to remove adhesive. I also went ahead and get some Goo Gone, so I'm gonna go ahead and try and see if I can't get this adhesive off. Hey guys, so that sure was scary using this thing on your paint, but it worked pretty well. I found that you had to use like a high speed on your drill. It has to like build up heat so it can break down that adhesive. And also, I think the Goo Gone works for helping loosen it up, but it can't be wet on there because it won't build up enough friction to actually remove that. But it was able to get everything off, and it looks good. Didn't hurt the paint at all. Pretty much the only thing I did during that whole thing is when I was scraping it off with the razor before, I nicked the paint in an area where there wasn't any clear bar. So I think on the other side, I'm just gonna try and use this wheel. I'm not even gonna try and take that first like plastic layer off, see if it works. But I'm really happy with how it came out. I was kind of stressing getting this off. I felt like I should have just left it, but it looks 1,000 times better with this removed. So I think once I buff this, it's gonna look good. So hopefully the other side will go as smoothly as this side did. Hey guys, so that was probably one of the most difficult things I've ever done detailing a car, trying to remove those clear bra rock guards, but I finally got them off, and I hope I'll put everything in the video as far as what I did. I had a lot of failures, but I think it's important to show that, you know, when you do this sort of thing, you're not a professional. Most likely if you're watching this video, you're not a professional and you're gonna run into obstacles and it's gonna take a lot of time. But if you're like me, you enjoy, you know, this sort of thing and working on your own car and having your hands on your own car, even if it is frustrating, it's still a good day. And I think it looks great now that I got those off. It was just way more difficult than I anticipated. And I think if I were to do it again, I would probably do what I did on the driver's side. For the passenger side, which is I just use the razor to scrape off like the top layer of the clear bra, which left like the adhesive on the back, so it had like a protectant layer so you couldn't really nick the paint. And then use the eraser, the 3M eraser after that, which I think there was just too much like goo on the other side when I left that top layer of clear bra that it just took forever trying to move it into one area where you could then scrape it up. Although when you use that goo gone, you move it up, or once you mix it around with the eraser, it's a lot easier to get off. So I don't know, either way it's going to take forever, but in the end I think it looks pretty good and I'm happy with the results. Alright, so I've gone around the whole car and put little stickies on it pointing at all the rock chips and areas that I want to touch up, and I have my touch up paint, and I also have this little pen that you can fill up for like really small rock chips, so you can just get like the smallest amount of paint through this like little needle. Not sure if I'm going to use this, depends on, I guess there are a few small ones, but I'll see what I can do with this first. But I'm just going to go around and touch up all the rock chips. Not much to it, just shaking up your paint good and then going around and touching them up. The other reason I like to use these is because once you touch it up with the like base color, you need to come back with the clear coat so you'll know where they actually were. They're harder to see once you paint them, obviously. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Hey guys, so next I'm going to be polishing the car. So I'm using my Harbor Freight Chicago Electric orbital polisher. I have a Chemical Boys or Chemical Bros, something like that. This is like a light cutting polishing pad, and I'm just using Meguiar's Ultimate Polish, and this should be a pretty light paint correction, nothing too crazy, but should get some of the swirls out and get a nice shine in it. The paint on this car actually looks great already, so it probably doesn't need this too much, but I'm just gonna go over it quickly. So for this, again, I'm not by no means an expert, it's just what I've seen others do online, but I'm gonna start on like working like distinct areas, like 3x3 squares, and then I'm gonna start on low speed to apply the polish to the area, and then I'll move it up to high speed, and then just the weight of the polisher. I don't really put any pressure on it and just let it work in that area, and it should go pretty quickly. Like I said, the paint already on this car is pretty good, so let's get into it. Alright, so I finished buffing the car. I think it looks significantly better now, despite the fact that it looked pretty good before. Some top tips for that, I don't know if you caught on the time lapse, but I definitely started the buffer the first time before I applied the polish to the car, and it sprayed all over the place. So top tip, always dab your polish on the car before you start your a polisher because it will fling it all over the place, all over yourself and the windshield that you just cleaned. So yeah, that was good. Other than that is sometimes the polish can be a little difficult to wipe back off, so you just have to use a little spray detailer. So now next thing is going to be to wax it or seal it, but my back's hurting, so I'm going to take a break, eat some lunch, and then I'll come back and wax it, and then we'll clean the trim and the wheels and should be good to go on the exterior. Hey guys, so finished waxing the car. Now I'm just going to go through with some plastic and rubber restorer. I'm just going to go over all the black trim pieces on the car, try and crisp them up. So it's amazing how something so little can make such a big difference, but the trim looks amazing after using that back to black stuff. So the last thing I have to do before I'm done with this is to just clean the wheels. So I'm gonna clean the wheels, and I think that's gonna do it for the exterior part of this, and then should be ready to take pictures of it, so I can get this car ready to sell. Well, I also have to do the interior, but my plan is to finish the exterior, take the exterior pictures, and then another day I'll do the interior. Probably make a separate video for that just because this one's gone so long. It's taking a little bit longer than I thought, but I think the car looks great, so I'm happy with the results. So that's a wrap on the exterior detail of the car. I think the car looks absolutely amazing. I definitely saw a distinctive change through the time lapse when I looked through the footage on the camera. I hope you guys also agree, and I hope you get inspired to take on something like this at home. It's really simple to do. You can get great results. You're trying to sell your car. Hopefully it'll help you just get a little bit of extra money when you go to put it up for sale, and hopefully it'll pay off for your time. But I think the car looks absolutely amazing, and I'm going to go ahead and put some pictures in the video from when I took them for my listing. I hope you guys agree that the car looks absolutely amazing, and I hope you like this video, and I hope you try something like this at home and are not intimidated about buffing or polishing your paint or removing your rock guards. You can see every once in a while you're going to have obstacles to overcome. We're not professionals, we're doing this stuff at home, sort of thing happens, and you just got to do your research and just keep working and get through it. And if you make a mistake, that's fine, that's life. Live, learn, and spend some time in the garage.